Now, how can we live a life successfully? To live a life successfully means to live the life while being free of want. This is the freedom of want. And of course, freedom means the absence of something. And the want has something to do with things that we say like, I want the car, I want a woman, or I want that position in society. But it's not just these sentences, it's something else. We'll get into it a little bit later. Now, how can we live a life successfully? So we need to live a life free of want. How can we live a life free of want? There are two ways to do this. And actually both should be done at the same time. Now, one way is more indirect and the other is more direct. So the indirect way is I imagine what would my life be like if I were already free of want. Like right now, I don't want anything. I don't want money. I don't want women. I don't want a husband. I don't want anything. Of course, it would be boring if I would just not want anything and not do anything as well. Yeah, like I would not want anything and not do anything, both. But just imagine for a second that you actually do not want anything. In this case, do you still not want to do anything as well? I don't think this is the case. I think you still have the urge to do something, even though you don't want anything. You don't want to do that which you are urged to do. But you still have this urge to do something, or maybe the intention to do something. Or just if you imagine your life, how you live it naturally when you don't want anything, then in this natural sort of flow, you naturally are doing something. And now the question is, what is it that you're doing there? What is it that you're doing? For some people, it can be tidying up the street in the city because someone just likes clean cities, or they just like seeing people when they're happy when the street is clean. Somebody maybe likes writing computer programs or making music, not because they want music or they want computer programs, or maybe they build computers, not because they want computers, but because they, I don't want to say enjoy, but they just kind of like naturally are doing these things. Even though they don't want them, and they don't want the results of them, and they don't want anything. So the question for you is just now, what are you naturally doing in your imagination when you're free of want in your life? Now, to ask yourself this question, and then if you actually get an answer from your like inner voice or whatever, that you would be actually naturally doing this and this thing, then you could actually try and do this and this thing, although you are in the state of want for something. You want something, but you still kind of ignore your own want, and you still do that which you would do if you didn't have the want. So this is the first technique to live a life successfully. This is the first technique, and it's more indirect because we ignore our want. We ignore it actively, like I actively ignore you because I don't like you, like this. We actively ignore the want. This is the first technique, the indirect technique. Now the second technique is more direct. In the second, more direct technique, we actually now look at the want. Now again, now we do what I said in the beginning of this video. We want to understand what is want precisely. In the beginning I said, okay, want, usually when want is happening, then you kind of say things like, I want a car, I want that car, I want this person, I want this body, I want to be there, or I want to be there. So we say things like this. So when we say the sentences like I want to be there, then obviously we are pointing at something. So the want is pointing at something. I want that car. The want is pointing at something here as well. There's some kind of an image somewhere, and then the want is pointing at that image in your life. We don't want to talk about the image at all. We don't care what the image is. The image could be anything. What you want, you can want whatever. You can even want to kill someone. It doesn't matter. It's a want. And you want the things that you do, that you want in your life, and those things we ignore completely. We just look at the actual want. Now, the actual want is not the sentence, it's not what you say like I want the car. It's also not the actual want. You might not even say that, I want the car, you just want it, you don't say it. Now, what is this when I say you just want it? What is this you just wanted? What is the want, okay? What is the want? The want is a movement within your body. actual physical body, like fingers, like eyes, like actual physical body with legs. Maybe you have one leg, then in your one leg, maybe you have two legs and your two legs, and your whole actual body, the movement within, it's like an emotion. I'm not sure what the E means in emotion, but motion means movement. So it's an emotion. It's emotion within your body. It's a movement within your body, the want. Now, what kind of movement is it? You know it. You know what it feels like. It has got a certain feeling, and you know what it feels like. And this is the feeling of want. And I describe it for me, and it's probably gonna be the same for you. Maybe it's gonna be more intense for you or less intense for you. But how I feel want is that it's like my blood turns around. Like my blood is flowing through my neck, and then suddenly, like my blood is like a river in a riverbed, and it just flows. And then when I want, it's like the blood, it's like the river turns around in the riverbed, the other way. This is what it feels like when I want something. Like my blood just makes circles. It's just crazy. And it's happening in the neck area. It's happening in the left hand area. It's happening in the left leg area. It's happening all over the place. And then the stomach area. Even in my brain area, head area. It's happening everywhere. So something is turning around there. So this turning around is a motion or movement within the body. And this motion and movement within the body, that is want, or maybe the want process, or the want movement, or maybe the wanting. Okay, so now we look at this want, the movement within the body directly. Now, how can we solve this directly? There's one technique. The technique consists in you. So there's many situations in your life. For example, when you're actually in the street somewhere, and then you see like a Barbie doll, and then you say, I want it. In this situation, it's kind of like too late. When it's happening, it's already too late. You're already wanting it. You cannot prevent it anymore. Like maybe, I'm not sure. There is maybe a way to handle it while it's happening, like in this situation. But I'm not gonna go into that. Now, let's just imagine you're at home. So we just look at a different situation. And in this situation, you are not outside when you see the Barbie doll in the street, but you're at home. And now at home, you don't want anything, you might think, because at home you're just kind of comfortable. But what happens when you just sit down on the floor and you just kind of close your eyes and close your senses to the outer world, basically your eyes and your ears. Maybe you're already kind of silent and maybe quiet at home, so you don't need to close your ears specifically. There's nothing to hear anyway, and you close your eyes so you don't see anything. And now you just kind of sense what's happening on different parts of your body, maybe like the shoulder or the hand, or maybe this hand or this shoulder. And you might sense something in your body. Maybe also you kind of sense something not on your body, but so you might sense something on your body, like on your skin, on your fingers, but you might also sense something within your body, like within your fingers, within your shoulder or something. And so basically what you're looking for is, you're looking for the want. You want to actively pursue it. You want to find it. You're looking for it, like where is the want? Because in reality, you don't just want something when you're in the street with a Barbie doll. You're actually wanting things all the time. The want is flowing through you because you are a flowing river of want. That's what you are. The want is always there. It's always in your body. You don't need to wait for it and then catch it when it comes, because it's always there. All you need to do is you need to wait for yourself. You need to train yourself to see the want that is a flow that is flowing through your body. And for that you need to wait maybe. So when you sit down on the floor, maybe you need to wait a little bit with the eyes closed for the want to appear, because you need to train your own mind to see it. And by see, I don't mean with the eyes, because your eyes are closed. By see it, I mean actually kind of like feel it or sense it, or like be aware of it or whatever, because you are seeing it, but you're not seeing it with your eyes and not with the ears either. But you are kind of like touching it. Actually, the want is touching you, because the want is flowing through your body without your permission. But you want to catch it while it's doing it. You want to observe it, the want, the flow of want, while it's flowing through your upper left shoulder part of your body or something, you know? So you just sit down, as I said, on the floor, and then you find the want, actively pursue it like a hunter. You're gonna kill it. And for that, you need to be very careful and observant, because you're directly pursuing the want. If you directly pursue a deer a deer can be dangerous. A deer will hunt you back because you are hunting it. Because every deer knows that the defense, the best self-defense is attack. That means that the want will attack you. It will attack you brutally. It will kill you, or it will attempt to do. The want will come out at some point if you do it for a long enough amount of time. Maybe you also need to sit down for 1 hour on the floor, and then you will not find the want, and the want will not try to kill you either. But then maybe you do it for 1 hour, and then on the next day you might do it again for 1 hour, and then next day and so on. Or you might do 10 minutes. And at some point, when you've done it long enough, and the want feels the danger coming from your observation, the want will become aggressive and attack you. And then the want will attack to kill, for no less. Because the want is far more dangerous than the most dangerous deer, or lion for that matter. So, what you're gonna do when the want attacks you? Now, I'm gonna tell you. It's very simple. The best weapon against the want, or the flow of want, is observation. You observe the attack of the want on you. Now, it might sound contradictory because, for example, when someone comes to your apartment and they have a gun pointed in your head, is the best defense to observe the gun or the person who attacks you? Usually no. Usually no. Usually the best defense is to actually maybe kick the gun out of the person's hand, or just kill the person in the first place, or with some kind of a underhand movement or whatever. Or maybe somebody else comes to your help, your friend, and then they kill that person with an underhand movement that they learned somewhere else where you didn't learn it. And then they kill the person who wants to kill you, and then you are free. But in this sense that I just described, being free of murderers, you are already free. Because right now you're alive. Obviously nobody has killed you, and probably nobody's trying to kill you right now. But you're not free, most likely if you're watching this, you're not free of the want. And contradictory, as in the situation with the murderer, the best weapon against the murderer is direct attack. In the case of want, the best weapon against the want is not direct attack. It's not. In the case of the murderer, it's kind of stupid to observe the murderer while he's killing you. In the case of want, it is very wise. In fact, it's the only choice, effective choice that you have, to observe the want while it's trying to kill you. It's like in the Bible, Jesus Christ goes to the desert, and then the devil comes and says something like, oh, there's bread, why don't you eat it? Oh, there is something else, why don't you eat that? Why? Oh, there is like the whole world and all the people in it. I want to give you everything. You can possess everything. Why don't you take it? You see what the devil does? The devil attacks you with the want. Do you want bread? Do you want control everybody? The want controls you. I mean, the want attacks you. And did Jesus Christ stamp the devil on the head with a rock? No, he didn't. He didn't hit the devil. He didn't even touch the devil with his hand. He just observed the devil. He just observed, what are you doing there? Oh, okay, you're proposing me to control the world. Interesting. He observes the devil. He observes the devil. And at some point, the devil is defeated. And when the devil is defeated, the devil is dissolved. The devil dissolves itself. In fact, maybe something else like the universe or the world or whatever dissolves the devil. Dissolves the want. The want is dissolved. And when the want is dissolved, you are free.